How to define the CPU when start a virtual machine. Continue our series about how to create virtual machines with qemu. Today talking about how to specify the CPU features when running virtual machines. The qemu software permits to choose among models of the CPU preset with the software. It's also possible to create your own custom CPU with a sort of features that you choose. As the series focus on the virtualization of operation systems, more specific Linux operation systems, we focus only on the flags that will include performance, and for simplicity you want to talk about two of them. The CPU command used to define the model, it's the dash CPU, and then you write the model. When you can use the CPU space help to list and see what are the available CPUs. For example, you can use the qemu system emulation for architecture 8664 and use CPU help. After you call the command, he shows the available CPUs. There are many models available: Intel Core, Intel Xeon, Intel Atom, AMD, many others, Skylake, Intel Skylake, some general CPU, KVM64, and the qemu 64 that are general CPU. His and the command also shows some flags that can be used, but it won't be covered in this video. A way to increase the performance in virtual machine it's to enable all features of the host machine. You can do that by use the qemu invocation command for system emulation, architecture 8664, and use command CPU and then the word host. These enable all features of the host. The feature need to be compatible, that be available in the qemu software, but in such a way that every feature can be used in the guest machine. You can see the information about the CPU with the utility les CPU. I ran this command in my machine. As you can see, he says my CPU is the AMD Ryzen 5 3600 6 core. My machine has one socket, has 6 cores and 2 threads. When you multiply one socket, 6 cores and 2 threads, the 12 process units. I have here a disk image with deb12 installed. I use the command to show how to configure. Use the command dash CPU host to enable all features of the host to the guest. Then you can put 4 gigabytes of RAM. You can enable kernel virtualization, and the hard drive A, you can use our image with Debian. The machine is loading, kernel is loading. You can make the login in the system. I mistyped the password. Now it's red. I use the same system utility LAS CPU. As you can see, the CPU is using the same CPU model of the host machine, AMD Ryzen 5 3600 6 core. But you see below there is one socket, one core, and one thread. In other words, one process unit. So we need to change our configuration to enable multi-processing. I will turn off my machine. The command that I use to enable multi-thread is the -smp. And then we have many options, but for today we only talk about 3 of them. The invocation, the command -smp, and will be my host processor has 12 unit of process. Sockets have just 1, cores have 6, threads have 2. So one socket with 6 cores and 2 threads, if you multiply this number, you have 12 process unit. Continue your command. I will specify the CPU like the host. I will put 4 gigabytes of RAM and include the hard disk A, our disk image with Debian installed. And I forget to enable the kernel virtualization. Now the machine is running. It's loading the kernel. Now we can type our log information. I use the same utility alias CPU. As you can see, we still with the processor AMD Ryzen 5 3600 6 cores, but now we have 12 unit of process. He has one socket is right, but he says the virtual machine have 12 cores. Our host machine has only 6 and threads 1 in the guest, but the host machine has 2 threads per core. Why this happen? You can see in the warning message after our command that this family of AMD CPU doesn't support hyperthreading. It's a limitation of the qemu for this processor, but the machine will run with 12 units of processor. If you want to suppress this message, I will power off the virtual machine first. What you can do is remove the specifications. When you put that, the qemu set automatic the threads, sockets, and the cores. Let's run the command again. System is loading, kernel is loading, the bootloader is loading. Now we can insert the login information. I use LS CPU for the last time. As you can see, he's still with the AMD processor, 12 cores, no warning messages. Today you see in this video how to set the CPU. You would use only the dash CPU and write the model. If you want to see what models of CPU available in qemu, you can use the dash CPU space help. And you can use the command dash SMP to specify the multi-thread of the virtual machine qemu. In the next video, talking about how to enable the virtualization based in kernel. It's all for today. See you in the next video.